So let's give it another test. And in this case, I'm gonna do email marketing for B2B companies. Great, it finished working. I'm going back to my Airtable and now I'm taking a look at the lines that it generated. Now I go to my smart lead, which is the sender that I'm sending emails. Let's take a look at the final review just to take a look. So, hey Christopher, have a great Sunday. Our email marketing can help fathom. Cold email is one of the most effective ways to get sales for B2B companies, but sometimes it requires a lot of manual work like writing the scripts, building the list, researching the leads, and so on. But with the power of AI and automation, we don't need to do this manually anymore. So in this video, what I'll do is I'll show you step by step how to personalize thousands of messages with AI with just one click so that you can increase conversions and avoid this manual tedious work. So what we're gonna do first in this video is I'm gonna show you a video of how it works, some examples, some explanations. Then we'll dive into how the process works step by step, and then I'll show you how you can build this yourself with no-code tools like Airtable, Make.com, and so on. So let's get started. Okay, so for the purpose of demonstrating how it works, we basically have this leads list and we have all the information we need, pretty basic lead list. And what I'm gonna do is I added here 3 fields. One of them is called USP, one of them is one-liner, and one of them is ICP, and they are supposed to be generated with AI. Now for this example, let's say I'm selling a lead nurturing service for B2B companies and I help them generate more leads or convert more leads. I'm running the automation, and now what we see under the row or the field of USP is we see all this. Basically what a USP field means, it's just take the company, what they are doing, take what we are doing and just combine this and show them the benefit, right? So if I take, for example, this, we have the company about, we take a look, our lead gen nurturing service can connect Fathom with healthcare providers seeking advanced AI solutions, blah, 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 blah. Our lead nurturing service can connect Apple with businesses eager to explore innovative solutions. Our lead nurturing service can help Braya connect with healthcare providers and researchers. So instead of sending some random, our lead generation service can give you extra booked calls, blah, 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 it actually showed them, we can give you this specific type of businesses. So I don't know about you, but this is pretty cool. And as I said, it's pretty scalable. So we can put here like 10,000 leads and it will do the same as long as we provide the data. So now let's see how it works. So I know this chart might look a bit intimidating, but I just made it that way to look smart. So we start by getting as much information as possible about the lead. It can be either company information or specific information about the person. Let's say we want to reach out to the CEO, CTO, whatever it is, and we want to get specific information about them. The main source that we're going to use can be LinkedIn. You have all the information there about most of the companies. So we can take the company LinkedIn URL and just get the industry, number of employees, company about, and we can also take the personal information of the CEO, CTO, whatever it is, the decision maker we want to reach out, and we can use a service like Rapid API or some other automation. And this Rapid API allows us to, they have a lot of APIs there, but one of them is that we can take the information about the profile and take whatever we need, the experience, whatever. On top of that, we can go to the website, so we can get their offer or maybe the headline, or maybe we want to get their 5 latest clients or so on and so on. We can get information from there. We can go to social media like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever it is, take information from there. And the best way or most effective way is to go to Apollo.io or some kind of a lead database that is already giving you all this information. For example, with Apollo, they give you the LinkedIn URL and company LinkedIn URL, and then you need to run some automation to scrape it. But this is a different topic. Just understand that we need in this step to get as much data point as possible. And really here you can get your imagination working, like as much personalization you want to get or more specific you want to get, the data needs to be there. The next step is to generate the personalized message with AI. And here you can decide what you want to do. What I like to do is I like to define some template. You can let the AI write the whole script for you, but the way I like to do and the way I see that it actually converts and gives results is that if you combine human and AI. And the way I like to do it is I define kind of a template, I write my script and so on, and I give it some component of personalization, and that way it looks natural. So I write this template one time, and then we have some personalization lines or parts of that, and then we write the prompt. Okay, we decide on what we actually want the prompt to generate. We're not gonna go into prompt engineering and all these things, but essentially the most important stuff is to give it context, like tell it, okay, your job is to generate this text, your job is to generate this script, this is the information you are getting, do this, do that. And if you want to really give it nice results, we're going to provide it examples of how we want it to look like, at least 3 to 5 examples, and from there it will be able to understand. And by the way, the more you niche it down, the more you're specific, the more it's short line or short messages that the AI needs to write, the easier it will be for you, because it's easier to optimize, easier to provide examples, and so on. Next, we save it to some kind of a database or lead sheet. You can use Google Sheet, you can use Airtable, and basically it's obviously to store it, but it's also to validate, edit, and optimize the content. So once we generate the content with the AI, we want to take a look at this. We want to see if it's good, if it's not good. We want to validate it a little bit, at least in the first stages. And then we have a track of everything that we have. So we can run these automations, either Google Sheets, Airtable, or whatever you want to use. We then upload to the sender. I'm using Smartit, for example. You can manually upload it to Gmail or create a draft on Gmail. You can upload it to HubSpot, whatever your sender is. And then, as I mentioned, we have a template, and we have also the generated lines from the AI. So we want to see how it's combined together with the data of the lead, with the template, and with the data from the AI. And we want to see how it looks. We want to refine it, tweak it a little bit, and start launching and start sending our emails. So how to actually build it with make.com and Airtable. And you can use your own tech stack, but what we are using here is Airtable, make.com obviously, ChatGPT, and some API requests that I'll show you in a moment. We are starting on this table. This is after the stage where we have all the information from the database, from whatever tools you are using, scraping, or whatever it is. We have the first name, last name, title, website, fake emails, company name, company about. This is, by the way, for my own automations. I have an automation that is taking the company LinkedIn URL and getting all the information from the company page. And this is one of the results. For example, we take this from the LinkedIn of the company. So if I go here, I just copy and paste it here, but obviously we can do this with automation and scrapers. So this is our starting point. You will need to connect your Airtable. You will need to choose your base, the table that you want to start with, and you want to also give it some formula. So what I'm using here is search records. So for every record that I have here that doesn't have USP, just run it and just start this automation. We can also do this for this one and this one. This video is not a video about automations and make.com, but just want to give you some overview of how you can apply it for yourself. And we also take 10 on each iteration. Once we find these records that we want to give them the AI component, the AI content, we go and we get the record. Again, this is a module. All we do is we use the same base and table, and we give it the record ID from the step before. So step 9, we give it the ID. Now then, for the purpose of this video, I set 2 variables. So it's flexible to edit. Instead of going to the ChatGPT, I can just edit these variables. You can decide however you want to do this yourself. On this case, I decide on the service. So here is basically, you put information about your service, what you're doing, what's your product, and so on. And you give it some context. This is, as I said in the stage here, give the AI some context about your company. The more you specific, the better. But you need to decide on your context. It doesn't have to be your service itself. It can be more context about the task itself, so it can do the work as best as possible. And if we imagine it like an employee, what kind of context you give an employee before they doing these tasks. The next variable is examples. So I just give it examples that I prepared from before. We give it the service, we give it company about, and this is the result we are expecting. If, for example, we see that it's too corny, too long, using some vague words like, I don't know, supercharge and all these words, and we want it more plain English, we can go and we can optimize the prompt and we can optimize the examples. And the final thing is we create a ChatGPT module. Here you need to connect your ChatGPT, your OpenAI connection to make.com. I made different videos about this. You can watch this on the channel. Here I'm choosing for this purpose a 4.0 mini. It's pretty cheap. It also doesn't require a lot of crazy stuff. For this example, AI personalization that I did is just generating one line. So 4.0 mini is perfect for doing these jobs. I give it the system prompt, what I described before. Take the company about information, take our information, and give me one line that is talking about the benefits or the USP of how we can help them. Then I'm sending to this AI as the user. So this is what's the job of the actual AI. This is the input from the user itself. So I send it the company about from the previous steps, and here I can just, give it the first name. I can just give it whatever information we got from the Airtable, from the Google Sheet, from our lead sheet essentially, and give it as much data as possible about the lead so it can do the work. Here I give it 412 tokens, and essentially the more tokens you give it, it will decide how many to use. From my experience, I know that it's not such a complicated task, so I choose to give it 512, and the more you give it, the more money it will cost. But again, because we are using 4.0 mini, the costs are really negligible. So after the AI did the job for us, what we need to do now is to save it in our sheet. So if we'll take a look at this, back we are using another Airtable module, same base, same table. To update the record, we give it the record from the step before, and we go to the USP. If we'll take a look at the result from the AI, it's the same structure all the time. So it's choices, choice one, message, and role assistant, and this is the result essentially. We save it. And the next step, which is actually a bonus step, you don't have to do this, but it makes your life easier, is just uploading the leads with all the data to SmartLead. And by doing this, if I already have a campaign set up, it will start sending these emails already to the person. So I'm just doing a basic call to the API of SmartLead, but if we'll take a look, I give it the first name, last name, email, company name, LinkedIn URL, whatever data, and also the customized line, the USP that we created right now. So let's give it another test. And in this case, I'm gonna do email marketing for B2B companies. The examples are not aligned for this, but let's see how it handles them. Great, it finished working. I'm going back to my Airtable, and now I'm taking a look at the lines that it generated. I can of course edit it here. Now I go to my SmartLead, which is the sender that I'm sending emails. And as we can see, we have all the information. We have the USP. And if I'll take a look at the campaign itself, so if we'll take a look at sequences at first, what we see here is the template that I talked about. This is generally how I like to structure, but of course this is an example. So we have have a great day of the week. We have the USP that we just generated. We have some case study, and we have some call to action. And of course, the case study can be tailored based on the information you got from the company and also the CTA. Let's take a look at the final review just to take a look. So, hey Christopher, have a great Sunday. Our email marketing can help Fathom connect with healthcare providers equals to blah, 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 blah. Maybe this line is not great because of the examples, but just showing you how it works. We help this and this and this. Same for this one, same for this one. And yeah, it looks like I actually wrote this one by one for each person. And that's it. This is how you personalize cold emails with AI. And of course, you can play with it. You can be creative. You can do whatever you want with this. I showed you how it works. And if you want to see how to automate the whole process of sending cold emails, from actually building the lists to verifying the emails, getting the emails, personalizing the email itself, sending with the sender and all of these things, I created a complete video and guide step by step on how I did this. There is a link below where you can go and watch it. And if you enjoyed this video, click the like button below, and I'm sure you're gonna like watching this next video about AI and automation. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.